War crimes prosecutors visited the town of Bucha, near Ukraine's capital Wednesday, promising to follow the evidence as forensic experts began their work. The chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court spoke to reporters.
Every individual, particularly civilians, they have certain rights, and we must speak for them, and we must insist that we get to the truth of what's taken place, and then judges will decide if there's responsibility.
The ICC, which is based in The Hague, Netherlands, has begun investigating alleged Russian war crimes in Ukraine. Neither Russia nor the U.S. is a member of the world body. The top U.S. diplomat for Ukraine said the world now knows that Russian President Vladimir Putin was lying when he claimed atrocities in cities and towns across Ukraine were faked or staged.
The world knows that he's responsible for the train station blast in Kramatorsk. He's responsible for the atrocities committed in Bucha. He's responsible for the devastation in Mariupol. He's responsible for the devastation in Kharkiv, and there's no one else that he can point the finger to, and the world knows that.
At the State Department briefing Wednesday, spokesperson Ned Price was repeatedly asked why the U.S. was not pursuing its own war crimes investigation in Ukraine, and if President Joe Biden was premature in using the word genocide.
We are engaged in a process at this very moment to work with partners around the world, but in the first instance, our Ukrainian partners, to help them collect, to preserve, to document, and to share evidence of atrocities, potential war crimes, and yes, if that threshold, that legal threshold is reached, genocide. We are working very closely with the Office of the Ukrainian Prosecutor General, who has set up a team under her purview to initiate a criminal case with an eye towards potential prosecution.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for Putin to be brought before an international tribunal.
All the world's leading states have already condemned Russia's attack on Kramatorsk. We expect a firm global response to this war crime. Like the massacres in Bucha, like many other Russian war crimes, the missile strike on Kramatorsk must be one of the charges at the tribunal, which is bound to happen.
Experts tell VOA that as long as Russian soldiers remain in Russia, access to them is almost impossible. But they said holding war crimes trials to shame and blame perpetrators can still make sense.
Now, holding war crimes trials, even in absentia, can have a deterrent effect on saying, the lower ranks might say, hey, I don't want to make myself vulnerable to a potential war crimes prosecution. And basically that means you're stuck in Russia for life, because if you leave the country, you can be prosecuted anywhere under what's called universal jurisdiction. And that applies to Vladimir Putin as well.
On Tuesday, Putin said the reported war crimes in Bucha were fabricated without offering any evidence and contradicting evidence collected from mass graves and numerous eyewitness reports. Cindy Saine, VOA News.